Our first speaker tonight is Mr. Paul Huebl. I hope I got your last name right.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, member of the councils. My name is Paul Huebl. I'm a journalist, an investigative journalist. I'm a private investigator. I'm also a former Chicago cop. I want to begin with telling you the government run in secret is both dangerous and un-American. First, let me give you a quick history lesson. During the 1950s and 60s, the FBI ran a program, a secret program called COINTELPRO. And our esteemed FBI engaged in wholesale break-ins, wiretapping, witness tampering, perjury, and hiding evidence. They had their evil deeds all documented in their FBI reports. The targets of COINTELPRO were none other than Martin Luther King and Muhammad Ali and so many others. Finally, in 1971, something amazing happened. Radicals burglarized the Media, Pennsylvania field office of the FBI, and they stole documents that they found, and these documents wound up in the hands of Congress and the press. Fast forward to today. All police reports and witness statements involved in the mass killing at the borderline are shrouded in absolute secrecy. There are rampant rumors. Some came from cops involved in the investigation, and others from witnesses. They are all very disturbing. We do know that there were state-of-the-art surveillance cameras in the venue, and not only are they not releasing the video, but the sheriff personally told me that he won't release or tell us what was on the video. We know there are volumes of reports and witness statements, but they're locked away from the media, you, and most importantly, the public. There were as many as 10 off-duty cops in the venue. Many of them were armed. None confronted the gunman. We need to learn who the heroes were and who disappointed the people that they were sworn to protect. Last but not least, we know that the patrons of the borderline had no viable emergency exits. They were forced to break out large plate glass windows, and then they had to jump in the darkness onto the broken glass, and many sustained horrific injuries. Why were there no emergency exits? Who's investigating the physical safety failures at the venue? The heroic police officer, Sergeant Helis, his family, and the other victims deserve the answers. Please, I beg you to do your jobs and end this cover-up. Thank you very much.
Next will be Mr. Bruce Boyer.
Good evening. My name is Bruce Boyer. I'm from Chatsworth Lake Manor, and yes, I am a fully filed candidate for sheriff of Ventura County. The good news is tomorrow afternoon, the California Appellate Court is going to hear my case that will restore the right of all citizens to run for our public office of county sheriff, which is what our state constitution says. So we are going to have an election for sheriff in this county, not a one name on the ballot. Now, I also would like to speak about the borderline. There are a number of very informative videos up at Bruce Boyer for Sheriff. Some of those videos will say that you'll watch the following. You'll watch Chief of Police of Oxnard, Whitney, give his report to his city council. He states there were 2 on-duty Oxnard police officers inside the borderline when shots were fired. He says it twice. His official report. I tend to believe that what he said was what he meant to say. That's the truth. Now, I'd like to know how 2 on-duty police officers do not engage one guy with a handgun. This is a smear on every police officer. If there are 2 cowards, they need to be called out and dealt with. This is a smear on every good officer that is not a coward. So then you'll see a video of a press conference from the appointed sheriff, Mustache Billy Ube. Billy Ube asked the question people have asked of these 8 off-duty officers. 2 and 8 is 10. Were they armed? He then proceeds to ramble around and doesn't answer his own question. This city council, I would think, would want him front and center in public. Answer the question. When I have officers that I encounter that tell me they know who those 10 unnamed cops are, they know that officers were armed, they know these officers ran, they are ashamed that the cowards are not being punished. Reward the heroes, punish the cowards. These witness statements document who was on duty, who was off duty, who was armed, and exactly what they did. The people have a right to know and to hold people accountable. You all can push to make that happen. If I get sworn in as sheriff, there isn't anybody that doubts I will bring the truth out. There is going to be litigation. Is the city covering things up? There's a man right here that has that video. He could make it public. The people have a right to know. I understand there were people in the borderline as patrons that tried to take out the gunman unarmed. Well, armed cops ran. Those people are heroes and need to be
Boyer,
recognized.
we got to put a
Thank you.
caboose. You bet. Thanks, man.